The Legend of Zelda, a game crazed for its popularity and fun gameplay. But one thing about Legend of Zelda is that it always keeps one thing the same. And that is the Master Sword. The Master Sword has been in every single Legend of Zelda game in the current timeline. And one thing about the Master Sword is that it changes every time, in every way, in every shape and form, in every Legend of Zelda game. In Wind Waker, you had to collect Triforces in order to get the Master Sword. In Twilight Princess, there was a lot that you would need to do before getting the Master Sword. In Skyward Sword, you had to upgrade the Goddess Sword into the Master Sword with the 3 flames, which would create the Master Sword. And in Breath of the Wild, you just needed to have a requirement of 13 hearts to be able to take the Master Sword out of its pedestal. But one thing that is shared with the Master Sword is that it's always found in the Lost Woods. Well, if we look at Tears of the Kingdom, we notice that the Master Sword is actually, it seems to be broken in half. From the beginning of the game, we could see Link actually losing his arm with the Master Sword being corrupt. And throughout the trailers, there's one trailer in specific that shows the Master Sword in half broken. What does this mean? Well, there's a lot of things that this can mean. Since Tears of the Kingdom is in the same timeline as Breath of the Wild, we can assume that Breath of the Wild having the sword as rugged as it was just means that Tears of the Kingdom, after what happened and what Ganon caused, is just going to have the Master Sword in absolute destruction. It's been destroyed. And we don't know whether or not we repair it like we do in Skyward Sword, or it regains its power a different way. But I did have a video that relates to this topic. I made a video talking about how Skyward Sword and Tears of the Kingdom tie ends with each other, and how demise is a reason for all of this. But that was in the last video. So if you do want to check that out, it will be in the description down below. So check out that video if you want to know more. But the Master Sword in Tears of the Kingdom, well, we see that it is destroyed. And it is similar to Skyward Sword, because in Skyward Sword, you don't have the Master Sword from the beginning, or you don't get the Master Sword on its own. You upgrade the Goddess Sword to get the Master Sword. But what does this mean? Well, when the Master Sword was broken and not held in Skyward Sword to begin with, demise was out and in the open. The only way that demise was sealed was with the Master Sword. So, in Tears of the Kingdom, assuming the reason why Calamity, or demise as we like to call it, is actually out, is because the Master Sword is the main reason for this. The Master Sword is what holds all that evil and power that demise holds. And once it's broken, it releases him. And Calamity erupts with all things around it. But why am I mentioning this with Tears of the Kingdom? Well, Tears of the Kingdom is also in the sky. But the reason why it's in the sky is because Hylia brought the people up to protect from Calamity, so that she could fight demise on her own. But the Master Sword is broken in Tears of the Kingdom. So does this mean that demise is actually out, and that's not Ganon, but that is demise, or Calamity? Who knows? Because right now we don't have enough, but we do see the Master Sword is completely destroyed, has absolutely no power. We do see that it is glowing in one of these trailers that they show. So, could this mean that Tears of the Kingdom is just another Skyward Sword when it comes to the Master Sword's origin? Who knows? The origin of the Master Sword, it starts with Skyward Sword. You get the Goddess Sword from the Goddess Tower. You get all 3 flames. And you get the Master Sword. Well, in Tears of the Kingdom, it may be different. Because the sword in Tears of the Kingdom is completely destroyed and has no power left. So, with all that knowledge, will we see another way of getting the Master Sword in Tears of the Kingdom rather than just having a certain amount of hearts or just finding it? Will we see the old traditional way of Skyward Sword where you had to get flames and upgrade the Goddess Sword? Who knows right now? But with that, I think we have a really good idea of where this game will be going, due to the fact that the Master Sword is destroyed and all calamity has broken. All hell has been set loose. Legend of Zelda really knows what they're doing when it comes to tying ends with the timeline and making a loop within the timeline. So I personally can assume that this could be the case where you have to find dungeons and bosses and get a certain item, certain something, anything. Like, I don't think it would be flames because that would be exact same, but some item, some object to upgrade the Master Sword and regain its power to trap Demise once again. Maybe you get the full potential of the Master Sword at the end, or it's actually earlier than you think. But who knows right now? With all the trailers we've gotten so far, we're just gonna have to make of that, and hopefully we get some new information in the coming months before the game launches on May 12th. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support I have been getting on all my videos lately. You guys really warm my heart. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Comment in the description down below what you would guys like to see for a video. I may do some other videos that don't relate to Legend of Zelda, but for now I will stick to only Legend of Zelda content until you guys tell me what you guys want to see. So with that, thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.